Lapsrit, good morning. I don't understand why it is the case. That is so annoying. Ay, this multi-streaming thing is do be annoying. Crazy Cat, how are you feeling after yesterday's matches? Usually there is this post-event syndrome a bit. I'm still surprised. How on earth did I win? I'm still like flabbergasted about it a bit. I'm a bit flabbergasted about it. Ooh, thank you for the subscription. Should not smoke weed so much. I mean, everyone has their own way to relax. Oh, and no way they didn't make the notification. Oh, it didn't. Yeah, thank you for the 7 months. Jeez. Final was Monkeys. Well, I don't know what happened, but I absolutely leveled up on the last few games. Hello, Impulse. I hope you're where did you had to go actually at such a late hour of the day? Probably with some friends calling out, because I had a situation once where there was an incident. I remember I had competition the next day, and I had to wake up at 5 in the morning, and my friends asked, "Yo, wanna go out?" in like at midnight, and I had to wake at like 5 in the morning. Then we hung out till like 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I have to wake up in 30 minutes. I think I'll go." Then I just slept on my way on the bus to Riga. And I was absolutely drowsy on the whole day. My reaction time before the fights and stuff was just... Holy Crazy Cat, thank you for the gifted sub to... I don't even know who that person is. Manskip Truck. Yeah, really appreciate it. But yeah, hope people have been enjoying the Latvia League. I personally have. I do think yes, there had been the nitpicky asking about, yeah, the maps are this and that, but I do think that the event is very enjoyable to most people. The fact that we're actually getting a decent amount of players as well is a cool surprise. You want to hear something absolutely funny and cool at the same time? Where can we donate? Yeah, 1 second. Let me showcase. So it is possible to donate to the Latvia Trackmania League prize pool. Well, it's technically for the prize pool goes for the cup events, but the LTL is the one that is like the main core event. Let me show it. So it's a bit hidden, but I'm thinking probably I will make it a bit public. So in the rulebook, you go in the Discords, you scroll top to the top where the information is at. It has the league, what's it called, rulebook. I will also be updating it because there's gonna be the new format, and there's a apbalvojuma paaugstinājumi, and there is this link right here. So the Fast Point GG one is the main default one. That's the place where it's possible to contribute something, and then we can increase the prize pools. There are some people I want to reach out to during this weekend to talk about some potential future ideas, because I have some interesting ideas how to level up Latvia League. And we'll have to see what works out in practice. Yeah, the Core 45 is basically something that's I have it saved up from as my prize pool for other events, and I have put it in for the prize pool. It's technically not from my own pocket, because it's like just revenue from hosting some events here and there. Because you might be wondering, wait, how on earth can you get revenue from hosting Trackmania events? Well, you can. But you gotta be really smart about it. On what you do and how you do it. But there is a way. Hello Eric, Steiger, welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, so what I wanted to say is that Oceania scene, which is as like Australia, New Zealand, you know, Australia has a really large player base in the game. And their weekly-ish casual events has less players than the Latvia League. Think about it. There are also a bunch of like regional tournaments that have way bigger player bases, and Latvia League has way more players than those guys. I think that is actually really sick. Especially because I keep an eye on all of the regional scenes and stuff like that, because I had to do for World Tour stuff and I still have to keep in check with them. And I think that's absolutely awesome. So who knows? The main thing is to... I'm actually having no idea what could be maybe the things what you can even like improve with the Latvia League structure. Because I'm not too sure. There are some things I would love to do. But I don't kind of want to break the formula too much. The main things I know is to set up a proper broadcast. That's one thing. But the thing is, it's like very easy to get like a broadcast for English broadcast overview, which I don't think should be problematic in Trackmania, but a Latvian broadcast would be messy, but it would be pretty sick. So right now, I have an idea how we can do both, but we'll have to see how things work in practice, because I know for the Latvian broadcast, it's not gonna be voluntarily for sure, but I have some idea. Basically, I can see how we can level up, so that's good. But I think those things I'll consider when the entirety of Latvian League will end. But so far, seems like people have been enjoying it, which is love to see it. Honestly, Latvian League so far for me has been one of the more enjoyable events from the year. Not gonna lie. Fastpoint League at the start of the year and Latvian League have been the two events I have been enjoying so far from the year. As an event itself. Of course, the presentation has not been the best, because my time is very, very limited to put resources into that, but yeah, still pretty fun to see. And I do think that we'll have to see what Baltic League does, because there is a chance that the Baltic League will have a similar format as Latvian League. Because Marcelli probably will see, be like, let's just do a copy-paste of that. And we'll see what all that will entail. Also, but the thing is that I know that there are some international projects that are gonna be happening starting 2025, and with more divisions. Do you mean for Baltic League? I do think that for Baltic League I will try to recommend that there's at least 3 divisions, that's for sure. Let's say who are 1 to 8s are put in Div 1, 9 to 16 Div 2, and then the rest in Open. Div 2s is fine for Latvia League, but definitely needs more divisions for Baltic Signs for sure. Technically, Latvia has the smallest player base in total player numbers compared to the Baltic states, but from what I have seen so far lately, it has have the most higher community engagement compared to the other scenes. So I would not be surprised if there's Baltic League and most players are from Latvia, for example, or with Latvian representation. Can it be changed to have like 5 to 6 people per race? Maybe bigger divisions to like 10, not 8s? Maybe that could be possible, yeah. But the thing is, with since there's I kind of wanted to focus that there's at least 2 matches being played by everyone, so it's not single limit stuff. It can be really freaking random with who wins and who exits. And also, if you increase the player counts, then the matches become a bit too long. And if we could keep double lim with the same format structure, it can be a bit messy. Also, with the 8 is a bit of speed spot since we don't have that many people in reality. So if you increase one division size to 12, that means division 2 might have like, I don't know, 4 players. Like on average, if we look at the realistic player counts, first stage had 13 players, stage 2 had 17 players, stage 3 had also 13, and last stage, how many players were there in stage 4? I believe it was 19. I'm pretty sure it was 19. Oh, well, yeah, technically it's 19. 18. So, actually, stage 4 had the most amount of players compared to any other stage. But I do think we already kind of have reached most of the people who kind of want to play this stuff. But, which is, I think it's good reach numbers for Trackmania size, for Latvia size, not gonna lie. So increasing it to like 12 players per division is a massive stretch. Gotta be a bit realistic. Also, at the same time, is if you open up the divisions, then there's gonna be a big disbalance between the matches. Yes, there can be situations where, you know, stuff like that is missing. Where's Kuzi? Kuzi kind of stopped playing TM. But there's a lot of like, you don't need to like, you know, rely on the old guard all the time. There's new people coming in as well. I mean, Kuzi's still around. He's like still in the beta streams and stuff. It's just, you know, there is this feeling you have no idea what to do in the game, you know. I had myself the same thing. That's why I created the Latvian League as well. Just to have something to do in the game. Moonless New Prodigy. I mean, there's a lot of actually players with some decent base. I mean, QLim is improving as well. There's some others as well. I mean, Arvito had a solid base as well. Karluki can do damage. Karluki's big issue is his consistency. He's a very time attack based player in his playstyle. That's for sure a thing I have noticed. But the main thing is for most Latvia players is to have that exposure in the high-end matches, you know? Like playing internationally or like playing against people from other countries. Playing like inner with each other is cool and all. It's kind of actually does pushes people a bit. But it's kind of nice that we have like people with some international comp experience, like Karluki, myself. Well, myself, yeah. And Vinho, for example. And then you can kind of see how, you know, it changes. But at the same time, you can understand, you know, the format is very condensed. It's like it can go a bit either way, and it really depends on the maps that were selected on the day. So for stages, it kind of gives this boost of confidence when you can beat, like, say, a player on paper who's like way better than you. Where the odds are way higher in that regard. But let's say we'll still have to see what happens with Latvia and Trackmania Cup, because that format is going to be a bit more core skill oriented. Also, I have to do the math to calculate how long will the final event will take place. For the final event, I will for sure will make sure that there is like a core broadcasts, because I really want to use the Latvian Trackmania Cup the main event or the finals events as the demonstration to what we can do. I'm already starting to reconstruct some of the maps scenery wise, and just in case they get voted in or selected, so I don't have to do it last second, like, okay, we have these maps, and then I'm starting to sprint to rework them. There's something I'm absolutely missing on this map. Yeah, ideally we don't have all of the players playing, but I don't think you need all players playing. I think the ones that who are actually interested in playing is the main thing. Hello, writer. These are some interesting lines, that's for sure. Yeah, after stage 6 I will open up the votes. It's gonna be open only for not that long though, but so I have time to figure out and we can set it up. Who will be able to vote? Everyone who's... Technically anyone can vote, but their votes will count. Only people who have at least taken part in at least one stage. Players who have qualified from the Latvian League, their votes will have a +2 emphasis. So for example, if someone votes for the wood map who has qualified, then it will count as 2 votes from the qualified players. From the rest, it will count as 1. So it's, let's say someone who has not qualified can't, like, say, they have some influence, but they can't, like, mass troll the votes. So they, let's say the wood map is played in or the one with the crazy clips or something. I mean, who knows what gets voted. I personally like the wood map, but I really understood that most people did not like it. So that's the way how it will work. Ice ending? I mean, ice ending wasn't too bad. That was a solid ice turn that we had yesterday on that one map. I'm still surprised how it's actually managed to click for me on both of the maps on the last 2 matches. On round 1 and up, I don't know how I will be honest, I got so lucky with my matchup draw in my semi-final one. The fact that I made it to the uppers directly also a bit helped, because I was not punished as much and I had time to pick up the maps in some kind of way. Wait, I need to check which place did I actually get in the seeding yesterday. Qualification. I got number 4. Wait, Kanan got 4-5. Okay, so it was Dvinho, Kanan, and Kulin barely made it. Honestly, Moonla should have been in Div 1, but yeah, he missed the registration. So that's why you gotta register before 21, you know? Else you're gonna completely miss it. Seems like a good trend. I don't know. The thing is, the maps are like fully like random. I just don't know what we will get. I have seen the maps at least once, but outside of that, not at all. Like I said, I have like a pool of like, I think 120 maps or something that I have selected. I mean, in theory, you can also look up any map that has, if you go to TMX, has 45 seconds, competitive, mixed, difficulty, beginner, intermediate, and has at least 1 awards. That has a chance of appearing on the list. Don't say that. There are so many maps who fit that criteria, you know. Let's open TMX. How many maps do we get? Trackmania Exchange. Let's see how many maps do we get that fit this specific criteria. Alright, let's go to maps. Let's say styles. It's competitive, mixed, more filters. Length 45. What was the difficulty? Difficulty, beginner, tag inclusive search, and then I swap it up. And then you get stuff like this. Wait, there's Goito. They're swapping 2 pages here. Wait, what? Okay, this is better. Okay, now you have way more. Like, look at this. You have like 30 pages of maps, and like every second map has at least 1 award. So you have, you know, no idea what you can get. Wait, there's a BTL map. Wait, 9 comments. Goito. But this is from beta season, I think. Yeah, this one was from beta season. Yeah, 2020. This is 4 years ago. Dude, we had the very first Baltic League season was 4 years ago. That's kind of crazy. Actually, comes to think of it, reminds me there was like one kid who applied to my karate groups who was born after Trackmania 2020 was released. And has now, like, their parents have like applied that person to enter my karate class. It's also kind of crazy to compare about, like, in terms of time, you know. Honestly, for me, honestly, 2020 TM 2020 release. Wait, new Nokia map. Hello. I should stop. Let's play this. What has Zempils made here? This isn't uploaded to Nudio services. I shouldn't. Where do you even go? I'll be honest, Alt Cam 1 is... I think I won't. I don't think I will play that. Latvian mapping. Hey, all Latvian mapping isn't bad, okay? we have literally a Latvian map. Wait, let me show you this. If we say this bad about Latvian mapping, let me show you this. Let me show you this. There was... Speaking of Latvian mapping... where is it? There was a bunch of people, even Pack put Roll Cage as one of the competitive maps of the year, as a nomination. And there are 3 people nominated it. Like, pushed for nomination as well. Also, I believe the XXV6 had, yeah, Detonate had multiple from Karluki. I believe XXV6 had oh no, he didn't. But yeah, XXV6 also had like a bunch of track of the days and stuff like that. So, and also Psyniac as well. So it's not, you know, not all Latvian mapping is bad. Some of it's pretty good. Lithuanian mapping, however. Estonian mapping is at least mid, okay? Lithuanian mapping, however. I don't think I have ever seen a good Lithuanian map, ever. If there is, I would love to see one. Also, there was something hilarious that happened 2 days ago. Myself and... Alright, you gotta go to the gym? Yeah, thanks for stopping. I thank you for the gifted subs as well. Hope you have fun in the gym. I'm actually more of a person who is now doing more calisthenics than gym work personally. I kinda too lazy to go, but at least I have the motivation to do all the calisthenics workout at least. Lithuanian maps as bad as their roads in the mud. Maybe. Like, only roads that I know from Lithuania is the one that goes from Riga to Vilnius. That's like the only road that I'm aware of. And it's not too bad, but at the same time it's like the most mainly used. You do a couple of those as a cooldown? Yeah, but it depends on what kind of difficulty, you know? Because last week or so I have been really trying to create like calisthenics based workout programs. Because I kind of want that... Well, I have my own stance on fitness basically. Because for example in my training round we have like close to no weights at all. But I can do a bunch of calisthenics stuff. Also the same thing at home because I have a pull-up bar and stuff like that. The main thing for me is getting the techniques down efficiently. That's kind of the... And I'm very... Since my sports that I mainly do, or my discipline is very technique-based, so you have a really efficient body movement. At least thankfully I can pick up a lot of movements very easily by just seeing a video and stuff like that, but it's kind of hard when you don't have a mirror or anything. You have to just, based off inner body feel, learn movements and stuff. Yeah, we'll have to reach out to Marcelli and see when the next Baltic League will happen, so we can at least see. Because now for next year I have prepared like a massive program because I really want to take part. At least hopefully I get to register. And I want to take part in the Karate A series because I got the approval process, which essentially in Trackmania terms would be like Challenger League or World Tour. No, or Grand League. That's kind of the best way to put it. And I got like the green light that I can take part in those events from my federation, from Latvian Federation, and I kind of wanna take part. The problem is the registration is just so stupid for those things. It's like, since the demand is so huge, like you have to register like the second registration opens, else you just you're not gonna take part. It's like really strict with the timing, and it's not like entry fee or anything like that is cheap as well. Like entry fee I think was like 100 euros or something like that. Just the entry fee to take parts. Much better than going to the gym, running with calisthenics. Yeah, that's I think like very good way to get good mobility, especially when you do this stuff. Then you have to have like focus on well, not mobility but diversity, what your body can do. But I'm personally like a person who's like really into stretching and mobility, so I can do anything. And especially when as from the coach side, because I have a like a sports that's like where you have to really be in have to be capable of doing almost anything with your body. It's like low-key like as a gymnast almost. So I have to do also the same thing, a bit of everything. Only thing that's weird is that when we have like these body testing programs to kind of test your flexibility, in my opinion, for flexibility tests, that the ones that are standardized do have a really not that great testing method. So for example, in standardized flexibility testing, hamstring stretches are the ones that's used to mainly to see your flexibility, which in my opinion is not, I mean, it is of course needed like muscle group to work with and like a flexation point, but in my opinion there are way more important ones, especially around hip mobility. In my opinion, have to be one of the more important ones, because it's like very, very underrated and it has a huge impact on the rest of the body. Yeah, sometimes you gotta understand what kind of body type do you have, and try to, instead of like trying to become what you're not, but try to actually play on the strong suits of the specific body type. So people who are ectomorphic or endomorphic, can then be more, you know, on endurance based. People who are a bit bigger can then do a bit more strength based stuff. You know, you have to adapt to it. And gotta understand. So for example, I'm also a bit more on the thin side. For me, since my most of my muscles have been so stretched, it's like it's not that easy to gain muscle. I mean, I can gain muscle mass, but muscle size is not gonna be the ideal. So I already know that I can't be like become fully jacked or something. And I'm kind of, you know, I kind of don't really want that, but I want to be strong enough and I can still have like a really good physique and stuff. I quite do look thin compared to some other people, let's say around me, but since all of them just go to gym like 6 days a week and stuff, but you know, it's just I can't do anything. That's just my body type. And that's the way how I do focus, because I just focus on mobility and stretching with calisthenics together. And I, instead of like basic strength training, I have put more effort into explosiveness. So a lot of the exercises that I do in calisthenic base are explosive based, because my focus is speed. Like how fast I can like extend my arm, both forwards and backwards, how fast I can move my hips, the extensions, flexations, all this stuff. The main thing is to start a bit little by little. Like one of the best things what I could recommend is there's a lot of like these fitness videos on YouTube that exist, and just start with absolutely basic stuff. A lot of people, oh, I have to do push-ups or something like that. When reality, you have to even, like, a lot of people can't even do one push-up, so you have to always just tone down the difficulty of it and progress it slowly. And you gotta be realistic. A lot of people want to, like, oh, you're such a lame-o, you can't do a pull-up or something. Like, man, like, everyone, if you ask anyone to do a pull-up randomly, of course no one's gonna get it, because especially if they don't have a lot of activity, so you have to slowly progress it. Or even if you don't have a pull-up bar, it's possible for you to learn how to do pull-ups without actually doing pull-ups. So if you work out specific muscle groups, and even with specific exercises, you can train them, you can suddenly do a lot of pull-ups. Even with proper technique and everything, at least once or twice. Also, I have a bit of a interesting take. In my opinion, I know that in a lot of military places, there's like this thing where you have to, when they do like these physical tests to see how good you are, physically fit, is they have a so-called push-up tests. I know in a lot of places. I mean, usually running stuff. Running is fine. Running tests is fine, but they do push-up tests or abs training tests or whatever. And one of my biggest gripes is that they use like a huge amount of quantity of reps to judge their physique, when in reality, in my opinion, like reps are relatively arbitrary, because, and the main thing, not only should be like a good form. In theory, if it's a very, very, very good form, you can, I think at peak you can maybe do like 30, 40, like at the best, like someone who's like really freaking good at it. And as soon as you start to like push into the 50s, 60s, 70s, then you have to break your form, because it's just not gonna be that possible. And most people who can do, oh, I can do like 100 push-ups in like a row or something, their form is gonna be completely off. They're gonna use like probably shoulders way more, or they're gonna be really tucked in. The way how the arm will move, it's not gonna be like a proper push-up, and it's like, you know. This is what I said in my classes as well. First, learn how to do a push-up properly. It doesn't matter that, you know, you can only do it like 4 or 5 times. It's completely fine. And then learn the cheat method also for in case you're gonna have these physical tests and it's gonna feel weird. You can do like a proper push-up, like, I don't know, 7 times, but you can do the cheated ones that you have to do for these tests. And you can do like 70 of them, you know. So I both teach the cheated method for larger quantity, and the proper method that actually helps with muscle growth and, you know, and all the core principles, you know. Why you have to do a push-up and why it's actually added in the strength test. There's a lot of these things, more people see bigger number, that means better, when in reality that's not the case. Also the speed of executing it also. In theory, explosive based movements don't really help with muscle growth. Well, it does help a bit, but not as much if you do movements in a slower rhythm. So it has the time for the muscle to completely engage in all sides from let's say from the I don't know how it's called in English. Basically from the point where the muscle starts, and then it slowly progresses through the middle of the muscle and then to the other side. So you have to have a similar dose. But if you do explosively, it's not going to be even in reality. So if you actually do it slower, then it's the best way how to do it. Actually, in my opinion, doing like isometric exercises when you start off, for just physical, if you wanna get some basics for strength training, doing isometric exercises, in my opinion, at starting off is a really good thing. Isometric exercises means just you basically hold in one specific position for a specific amount of time. So let's say if you plan out like a basic calisthenic workout for like arms and chest and back, for example. So you include a mix between regular execution, where you just do the full range of movement properly. Then you do a mix of between explosive movements, and then you add in like, I don't know, 2 sets of like isometric ones. A lot of exercises benefit from cheating, but should be first applied after you have reached the technical failure to squeeze out the last bit of intensity. Yeah, so basically, basically about the cheating thing, I was thinking that in a sense, first learn how to do the exercise properly and then you can distort it. There was like a sentence as well that I also used. First get your facts straight, then distort them to your leisure, you know? So first thing, learn how to do things properly and then, you know, adapt it how you need it, based on the situation. But I have an understanding that, you know, it's not gonna you gotta understand the purpose why then you have to do it. If you have to do a lot of reps, you're gonna say, okay, I have to do it for this testing stuff, I wanna, you know, pop off, flex with other people, I can do a lot of reps and stuff, and then you just, I don't know, practice the cheated method a couple of times. Because the cheated method, you will not use the exact same muscle groups as, let's say, for example, a precisely efficient push-up or a pull-up, but it does make it a bit easier at some parts. So for example, cheated ones use a bit more muscles usually, but it don't like have the exact focus on the specific muscle group. So for example, if you do like a cheated push-up, you're not gonna have, let's say, the full range of movements. That's one thing. Also, for example, in push-ups, the main zone where it actually helps the biggest stimuli is while being very, very close to the ground and while your pecs are fully at backwards, because then you have the full stretch out part of the muscle. And also what's very important is the palm and elbow positioning. It needs to be really efficient. So you don't, a lot of people who do push-ups, it goes mainly through their neck and platzi. How do you translate platzi? Shoulders? Yeah, shoulders. And when in reality, push-up is mainly to be like as a core chest exercise. But in my opinion, there are even way better exercises than a basic. So for example, for kids, I do usually a thing where since most of them have a hard time doing a basic what's it called, a push-up. So what I do them is that they have to just lie on the back, lie on the grounds, clap their hands behind their back, and then just like extend their, like basically bring themselves back to this like regular position. And that's, for example, when we do play games and let's say they're being caught and they have to do it 3 times, that's gonna be the one that they're gonna be, in terms of execution wise, they're gonna do it way better than they're forced to do, let's say, a basic push-up themselves. They're not gonna do it properly, but since it's not that harder, they can like just basically put themselves off. It's one of the best ways, for example, for kids to get that movement down slowly. And when they're gonna be older, then they kind of readapt it. It's gonna be way easier for them to do a proper or a basic push-up then afterwards. But also then, you know, depends on which kind of A group as well, how you do it and how you trick them into getting like the early progression steps as well in it. It's like doing dips on a pull-up bar for, wait, doing dips on a pull-up bar for chest. Wait, I got a bit confused. Doing dips on a pull-up bar for chest. Because dips, I believe, was the one that's on the... Okay, maybe because I know the terminology mainly in Latvian, maybe that's why I'm confused a bit. Also, this cover today is gonna be absolutely PF Fiesta. Just get your lines properly and that's it. I'm not a fan of this map. Such a stark difference in difficulty as well. Ah, you... Okay, I think I understood what you meant by that. Okay, I think I understood now. Alright, let's join the live server. See how unique will be the... Yeah, it's a grass PF. Yummy. Yeah, understood. I understood. Yeah. I understood it. So basically, yeah, you have like you have your probably arms like around your hip, but being on the pull-up bar, and then you just go down. I think it's called a negative. Actually, negatives is a good way how to get used to learning first pull-ups as well. I would personally say for muscle ups is a like explosive, like an explosive push-up is a good way to do it. Where you just like an explosive way you pull yourself up, you get that momentum slowly going. But I personally can't do a muscle up. Mainly because I don't have no proper way to learn it because my pull-up bar is like literally at my ceiling. So if I try to do it, I'll insta hit my head. I have like at best like 20 centimeters space above my pull-up bar. It's just me or feels like, hello Kenan? A lot of people in Trackmania scene, especially like top players or people who are kind of decent at the game, are the ones who do like a lot of sporty stuff a lot on the side. Like look at Pack, Spam. You know? A lot of people do like sports and stuff as well. I would love to believe that I'm at least... I really hope at least that in Trackmania scene I'm the best person who does karate stuff in Trackmania. I really, really hope that is the case. I know that Keister is doing similar stuff that I am. He's like, would be in my same discipline and category, but I think from the videos I should be better than him. Is what keeps the mental alive? True. 100% you are. I actually had a... No, this was like a month ago or I think I had a fight. I landed such a sick scorpion kick on the guy who was like 10 centimeters taller than me. It was so stupid, like, right? We have like a minus 67 weight category and everyone's like 190 centimeters height. It's like, what the fuck? I am like 180, okay? And everyone else is like 190. I'm like, oh shit. I have reached such a reach disadvantage. I have not slept the entire night since I was like hanging out with the friends. It's like cheapers. There was this one guy who was like 191 or something. Dude, and I landed a freaking scorpion kick from clinch to him and I got a freaking penalty. I was like, man, I landed it on his head, but the guy was getting so drowsy and stuff. I was like, oh shit. I actually landed it, and yeah. And I fought well, but based on points I lost some fights, but it is what it is. I won the India guy though. How tall am I? I am 180, precisely. Or like 179 maybe. It's kind of funny. If I go to a karate tournament, I feel like I'm one of the shortest people. But if I go to a Trackmania tournament, I feel like I'm one of the tallest people. It's very weird. Like whenever I go to Comic-Con Baltics or World Cup or something like that, like most people in Trackmania seem are not that tall actually. You know what is this? A lot of people saying, oh, you're so short or something. Use your heights to your advantage. Every height has their own advantages. There are certain people who want to be taller. There are certain people who want to be shorter. There are certain sports, there are certain disciplines, there are certain things where it can be a massive advantage as well. You gotta utilize it properly. You just kind of have to see the opportunities. But most people just are not aware of them in the first place. You thought the opposites? Nah. Like, I was so surprised when I, for example, met, like, Spam for the first time. I was like, wait, what? I was really surprised by, that, because I think Spam was, like, 170? The Spam was on the shorter side. I think that was one of the bigger surprises. Chem as well is like 172 or something. However, the average Latvian player feels like it to be like really tall. Kuzi was like 190 something as well. Like 180 for 180 for Latvia is pretty you know, not that short, but you're gonna be on the, you know, average high schooler is gonna be taller than you. Like for example, in my my own, the main students that are the older ones were like 16, 17. Like all of them are taller than me. Like I'm the shorter one. Everyone else like 185, 190. Yeah, I know, for example, in the discipline that I mainly compete, which is karate competition kata or sports kata, I actually wanted to be really shorter because it allows you to perform better in that. Oh my, I have a like one of I don't know if I would call him, yeah, I would call him a friend, I would say. Who we like hung out and stuff, and the guy is 2 meters 10 and he weighs 200 kilograms. That guy is huge. His leg is like my entire body. He said I can only like buy vans as cars because nothing, I can't fit into anything else. It's actually kind of funny. Also, I probably will have to watch my entire weight. It's gonna be so stupid. I really want to gain muscle mass. But it's gonna be really hard because if I want to keep in my weight category till the entirety of next year, I have to really be like careful of what I gain and what I lose. I think I can lose some body fat as well already, but since I'm currently at 13% body fat, I have something to lose, I guess, there, but I can maybe swap it with muscle mass. But man, maintaining under 67 kilograms is not easy. And while keeping, trying to build muscle mass on top of it. It do be challenging. Building muscle? Yeah, but I need to, like I said, I mainly need to explosive based, which doesn't really help for muscle growth, but it really helps with the main task. You are now 190? Dude, you have like risen in height quite a bit since tele events. Hello, Jackie Lee. Welcome. Yeah, I gotta understand why like I'm doing the exercises. Main thing is just to keep myself in good physical form and for competition. That's the main thing. Like building muscle mass or like appearance is not a thing I really want, but I mean some of that will come by default, but yeah, we'll see. Because my next event is in Tallinn, which is February, start of February. And oops. So I have some time to prepare till then. And I'm doing 2 disciplines as well there, which is gonna be my first outside of Latvia event where I'm gonna compete in 2 different disciplines. So it's gonna be really dank. Point 9. Technically right now I have an off season where I can do it. And like I'm kind of preparing for that as well. At the same time, it's the daily. I basically spend like I think like 1 hour, like 45 minutes to 1 hour of training when I don't have the hall access or like dojo. I don't know how to call it. I think people internationally already use the term dojo. It's basically like a place where I have the mats and a bunch of equipment. Kind of when you say the word karate gym, but I don't think anyone uses that term. Everyone says gym. I usually say zal. I say zal. And it does not mean I go to like lifting, but it's like very weird. So if you say like to, if you're going to like lifting weights, people say like say zalit. But when I for example say I go to the place where I train like techniques and stuff, or like you know where I do the classes, then I say zali. Jā, pieņemsim, es izmantoju terminus treniņu zāle. However, nowadays, when I just do the 45-minute sessions, I just literally just train at home. If I need to train like transitions and stuff, or it's like a lot of like dynamic movement, then I go to the, I'll say like, to my training place. So I have space to do those specific exercises or tasks or techniques. Because I can actually work on techniques better at home because I have mirrors and stuff. But for stances and like legs and the lower body, it's best that I work there. And I usually take like a camera with me, and with that then I can just retrain it like that myself. It is kind of sad. I have been kind of coaching myself since I was like 14. Mainly because the coach that I used to have was just an absolute scammer. I kind of like the sport and everything, it's just my old coach was like an absolute, like, just rip-off artist. And I did not learn anything, I just got motivated into the sports, but then I understood that skill-wise it's like... Kinda changed my entire mentality and stuff. This sounds so stupid, but due to speedrunning, I actually learned how to improve stuff in other places in life and how to improve in sports. It's so stupid. But I learned how to improve through speedrunning. And it had helped me that afterwards in sports and stuff afterwards. It sounds so dumb, but it's actually true. And I was speedrunning Sonic games and GTAs and stuff like that. Because sometimes when you, let's say, train... like when I play Trackmania, sometimes I get like interesting clicks on how to actually improve at some other things in like sports. For example, on how do I approach things, let's say in Trackmania, and sometimes I have a click. Oh, this makes sense better, yeah. Or this also like converts to that as well. Remember when I did like coaching in Trackmania in Fiverr? Then I kind of picked up some interesting elements on how certain people respond to certain elements and procedures and stuff. Honestly, I was pretty bad as a business, the coaching stuff on Fiverr, because I basically taught them everything in like 1 hour. And then I sent me an update like 2 weeks later. Yo, I got my first Div 1 afterwards. Or I got Div 3, I got all authors afterwards. It was like, damn. Because this sounds so stupid, but that's the reality. It depends if you have like a good coach or something like that. They're gonna teach you stuff really fast. Because they can explain like complicated things in simple terms so your brain can understand. Or really advanced things without making them complex. And but usually then people like, since they pick up stuff fast, then they become really good at it. And you know, then you don't have the quantity. Like a lot of people have subscriptions and stuff. And you know, it's hard to maintain them in longevity because they have mastered it or like learned it to a decent level really fast. That's one of the reasons why I like karate, for example, because there is so much to it. Like, it's impossible to learn everything that it offers. Because there is so many rule sets, so many kata to learn, so many techniques, so many like historical stuff, so many like... Such a fascinating activity. Also the way how there's so many type of progressions you can have. You can train for competition, you can train for exams, you can train for just trying to understand it more. There's so many styles, so many differences, it's so interesting. And so many ways how you can applicate it as well. Only problem is that nowadays there are so many people, since like it's so hard to precisely pinpoint what karate, for example, really is. It gets completely tossed to the side, and a lot of people say, oh, this is not karate, that is like kickboxing, when in reality kickboxing originated from karate. Like no one really refers to it as something being used in X ways, when in reality it is. Like there was this weird thing as well. Like I went to like this MMA gym and said, oh, you're a really good kickboxer, but I said, where did you train kickboxing? I said, I trained karate. And they never wanted to acknowledge the karate, like, at all. It's so weird. But in reality, most of my skill sets for base came from it. I actually wanted to do, like, a kickboxing fight this year, but was kinda... got a freaking injury due to it. Also, for the shits and giggles, I wanted to enter a Taekwondo tournament and just see what happens. Just see what happens. I was really confident in my kicking skills, but then I learned that there's a... and I tried to then learn, because in Taekwondo they have like funky ways how they can block kicks with legs, where they basically hook the other's leg and they block it in that sense. I kind of learned the movements and stuff, but I have like no one to spar in that specific way, because in basically the part of Latvia where I live, there's like not a single place to train Taekwondo or to test it out. Or there's no one with such skill sets. Where I could like, you know, have some light form of sparring to, let's say, prepare for such an event. Because the closest Taekwondo places were like in Riga or something only. You can't hold enemies' legs in Taekwondo? I'm assuming it's probably the WTF rules, which is an amazing acronym. I know that they actually changed the whole federation's name to just World Taekwondo. Just because of the pronunciation. It's the same thing with World Tennis. World Tennis Federation, where they changed it to VTA, I believe. But there is a difference between an association and a federation. So maybe they change it in a different way. Hello, pizza. Yeah, this map is absolutely PF, like anyone can win on this. I think ITF Taekwondo is pretty... I mean, any type of like combative system is pretty nice. Like a lot of, like even Taekwondo's, World Taekwondo has its own appeal, but it's kind of like foot fencing, more like it. For ITF, they have like more punches involved as well. Just a bit closer to karate. For example, I have a problem with, for example, WKF Kumite rules. That's... in theory, I can be more aggressive, be leading in a fight, but I can actually lose because I did not land precisely punches or kicks like that. Also, high-level WKF is so insane. Like, you have to have like reaction speed. The speed in general is so insane. Like, you have to be so fast. It's ridiculous. Like, you blink and the other person has landed you a punch from like 2 meters distance. It's like... you can't freaking blink. There's like this weird psychological thing where you have to actually learn, that I learned recently. Where if you like really tense up and focus, the other person will also adapt your tensity and focus. But if you like really relaxed, the other one is also gonna adapt and will be really relaxed. This is one of the ways how you can actually drain the other person's endurance down during a fight. When you have like, I don't know, a 3-minute round or something. That's a good way how you can drain the other person down. If you have really good endurance yourself. It's just basic mind games. Even without attacking, you can, in theory, do that. Like, just constantly just pressure the guy so the other guy's insta-focused. Then when you relax a bit, and then you instantly tense up where he does not expect, and boom, you input an attack. Because then the other guy's reaction speed's not gonna be as ready. There is like a like a psychological trickster like that. Especially against like people who are way faster than you, or like have way longer joints, you have to really use that. Because I recently tried to implement this in my in my sparring sessions, when I have to spar against people who are like way better than me. 57th? Yeah, this is pretty stacked. Because it's just like such a skill-less map. Just accelerate and steer. Okie dokie. What was even Div 1? There's some solid players here, actually. Domo Miko, that's a name I have not seen in a while. Wait, how many people from Latvia are in Div 1? 4. It's kind of funny how most other communities have a declining player base. Latvia has an increasing one. I'm still surprised by the amount of play. Like, it's kind of crazy that the Latvia only event has more players than the OCE one. Like, and come to think of it, right? Look at the World Tours. Like, MEA regionals, APAC regional majors had less players than a single Latvia League stage. Like, think about it. It's actually ridiculous. Okay, let's see. There is no shot Latvia has the most amount of players from country in the server compared to... Oh no, there's 4 Brits as well. Okay. Latvia the same size of England. That was like Dutchies had a really large local scene engagement as well. They had like a lot of like people playing their inner stuff. They were doing their own like sub-regional even like district versus district event as well. I don't know if in Latvia we could even do that. Would it even be possible to do like I think it would be possible to do like a team versus team events in Latvia where you have like Latgale versus Zemgala versus Kurzeme versus Vidzeme versus Riga, for example. You have 5 teams like that. Would that be like who's even from Kurzeme? Arvito isn't from Kurzeme. I believe he was Liepaja. No, Ventspils. So Arvito was Ventspils. There's a bunch of people from Riga. Vinjo technically counts as Latgale. But I don't know anyone else from Latgale though. I think most people are just Vidzeme and that's it. Yeah, that could be a fun event. Impulse, wait, K9 it was from Riga, I believe. Wait, if you had to pick this between these 4 subregions, tie, kuri no Latvijas, kurš subreģions jums būtu? Riga, Vidzeme, Zemgale, Kurzeme, Latgale. I would be under Vidzeme, probably. Well, not probably, I would. I'd be under Vidzeme then. Vidzeme as well. Something K9 Pizza could be. Arī Vidzeme. Oh. Pag, no kuras pilsētas tu esi? Everyone's from Vidzeme. Dude, Riga doesn't exist. Riga, Kurzeme, Latgale, Zemgale doesn't exist. It's like the same thing we had, like everyone was from Valmiera. I still remember there was a top 4 in a campaign. Yeah, it was a top 4 in campaign and all top 4 was from Valmiera. Imagine being from a city that has 25,000 people. You're top 100 in campaign and you're not even number 1 in it. I still found this hilarious when I was top 10 in ranked globally, and I was number 2 in my freaking streets for that time. Just because Kuzi was studying in Vidzeme Sauk School and living in dorm, literally that's across my street. And he was top 3 in MM at the time. Well, at the time, TK, who is like a full speed player, he's from Valmiera. Psyniac, myself, Kuzi was in that moment. And that was the top 4. There were people who were like really, really close to Valmiera. So there was one guy from Kuetsan, which is like a small village near Valmiera. And there was one guy from Bukka, which is like a really, really small village near Valmiera, which is like, I don't know, like 4 houses. But those are the top end players. I still know a bunch of people who did used to play Trackmania, who also used to live here. Because I remember only the reason why I got brought up by Stadium, because I remember at school people were talking about Nations Forever. That's the only way how I learned about Stadium. I Google stuff, and people were I saw these buggy cars, and then I remember people at school talking about, and I thought that they were referencing to Sunrise cars, but then it turned out Nations Forever. Nowadays, not that many people know TM, but I think now more people know in Valmiera mainly because they know that I told them that I work on that stuff, that I explained that I mainly do it, and you know. Also, I'm low-key doing mini promos and stuff. Like, I think once I hosted like a hot seats with my Steam Deck. At while we were on a bus trip. So that was the thing. From Uagre, I'm not too sure. Maybe someone with free access or something. Because actually there's a lot of people who have just played with free access. Oh, Cess shit, I think was from Liepaja. So Cess Arvito from Kurzeme could be. Because I recall when I was writing with Cess a bit. This was like a really long time ago. This was like 2020. And because he was a full speed player, and we were trying to form like a team for the Time Chasers events. Because we were in a dire need of a full speed player. And I remember I said, you know what, Kuzi, like try to learn full speed. I really don't want to play. I was like better at him, but I knew that in theory I remember on all 5 maps, so he gets the chance to play. I gave him to play FS. But this is like, yeah, 4 years ago at this point. Wait, where's Kanan going? Okay, I wanna at least be the last Latvian that stays in this. Okay, I don't think then the sub-regional event would work then for Latvian scene. Oops. Okay, I'm out. Cess is an FS, yes, FS and trial player. He had a really interesting preference. So he was mainly playing FS maps and trials. I don't know how much you know about the old clans, but he used to play in JFF. And I'm out. I think if you search up like really old, really old full speed maps, you might see records of him. But I believe he only plays Nations in FS. Because I remember I tried to directly reach out to him because he had really good stuff in full speeds. But yeah, he mainly plays trials. He had some really solid trials times. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this map at all. Yeah, Latvian Billy was pretty good. Actually, fun fact, I knew Latvian Billy from Portal speedrunning. Because he was a Portal 2 speedrunner. He was really trying to get me commit to that game a bit more. But in the end, I think he did a bit Trackmania a bit more. Yeah, but the thing with FS is that full speed is like such a in its own bubble kind of thing, because the skill sets from it don't really overlap with a lot of core other aspects in the game. Maybe only thing is maybe in like PF grass a bit or stuff like this. I'm not too sure how much it overlaps with things like NASCAR. I would say like stuff like Fun Speed maybe is closer to NASCAR than sorry, Speed Fun. It's closer to NASCAR than Full Speed. It do be wild how just like you can change some certain aspects of how the map is laid out and you have to play it completely differently. The whole style is developed from out of it just because of that. Yeah, the regu pace of these guys is pretty high. Vinyo would still solo us all with Zemniak. I mean, you gotta understand why Vinyo is so good. He's mainly just playing all the international comp stuff. Like, one of the best ways to improve in Trackmania realistically is put yourself in team events where you have a lot of people who are very experienced. And just due to training, you kind of learn and pick up all the things what made them good. And you can improve at the game, like, in 3 months to a level you had never thought before. It's the best way you can improve with the game. It's one of the reasons why I want to get like a Latvian team going for let's say these mixed teams events, because that is the best way you can improve at the game. I myself improved at a person who can barely get auto times out maps to a person who can like start to contend top players in the game in like 4 months, realistically. Like summer 2019 was the moment where I improved at the game the most. Easily. It's not too late, just you're lazy. It's just there's nothing sensible where you can actually put you in that preparation process with actual motivation. That's the main thing. Because right now, just training mixed or learning mixed for the sake of learning mixed is not a good idea. You have to have some events. You have to have some light incentive to grind it out. So when you improve it, then you're gonna kind of keep that core skill set at least base. That's the thing. A lot of people I know that are also very, very centered towards prize money and stuff, but I personally just enjoy the whole aspect of competition personally. Like a lot of TP top players kinda are just in the game. I know that TP top players just play for the money. When I personally like that people just commit for competition because they want to do goods. They want to play goods. That's also the same thing why I like competing in karate as well. In karate, like, the money is really low. But I really enjoy competing in it. So I can be in a really good form, and that's the motivator for me. Plus we get sometimes from the local government, get some nice bonuses if we do good in a certain events, which in theory is a money incentive, but that's not the main reason why I train. Plus get to see the world a bit. Like this year alone, like I honestly think I absolutely peaked in April 2024. I had so many things piling on in the same week, I remember. And I was at the Northern European Karate Championships in Iceland. Not only got to be in Iceland, it's a country where I wanted to be since as a kid. Got one of my own students did one of the best performances in Latvia history in karate, where he got vice champion. There was a sick ex-world champion seminar as well there. And celebrated my birthday in a freaking airport as well. But yeah, I never celebrate birthdays ever since I was 14, because I had a traumatic experience of that, and I don't want to celebrate them ever since then. It is what it is. Okay, let's see who's gonna be... Did anyone from Latvia leave? Yes. This is the thing with these PF maps. Like, anyone can win. You have to be, like, so efficient with the lines. And you really have to focus on the tiniest details, tiniest elements. That's the way you can get a good pace on this stuff. If you have it, like, fully automatic, then you can get a good time. But you really have to commit to these maps. It's like the same thing as grinding out O1. So many people are gonna be really, really, really close. This is a really boring map, not gonna lie. Hello, Cubits, welcome. Did you play Cover Day today? I'm actually wondering, since this was such a PF map, how many people actually did play this today? Let's see. So today the player amount was... Wait, that's a lot. 292. Jeez, that's a lot. Look at this whopping. Is there at least one somewhere? Who's gonna be that Giga Chad of a player? There has to be at least one. There has to be at least one. Imagine they're running servers for this stuff as well. It's still zeros. There's no way there hasn't been a single player in this. Wait! Kaskas. Holy. Base Luna Cover the Day player. On the virtual map as well. Dude, that guy is based. I have not heard of a single person using Luna though. And imagine that's the crazy part. On Luna, you have to... Nah, this is when you don't have crossplay on. Okay, so it's not that bad though, but... Jeez. Yeah, we found the Luna player. It's like that Sachtel meme when the rally car got accidentally leaked on Luna. And only one guy, and it was like leaked for an entire month, and then only one guy posted. The guy playing like the rally already before it was released. So that was a funny thing. Based Luna enjoyer. It's such a niche platform as well. You can't get more niche than that. Like, I generally think there's like not even 100 people, even with free access, who have tried the game through that. There's no shot it's more than 3 digits. It's 3 digits or more. Who is gonna be like, oh yes, I wanna play on Luna. And play Trackmania out of all of the games on Luna as well. Xbox? Sure. PlayStation? Sure. What is Luna? It's Amazon game streaming service thingy. It's basically like Stadia, just the Amazon's version. Stadia got shut down, but Amazon's Luna still stays. I don't think they have shut it down because they use AWS on it. And AWS is a massive system because for Stadia they had to create their own, like a separate thing. These rounds are way too dank. Like, this is just PF Fiesta. People are like, we want close rounds. This is what close rounds are like. It's just nothing's going on the map. It's just accelerating, steering, optimizing skid marks. Oi oi oi. Makes an unfortunate clip. That's basically GG. You can't come back from this at all. Unless someone tries to force too much in clips as well. Which can be a case that can happen. Especially when these guys have to push for pace like crazy. Yeah, because I'll just DNFs. Imagine if the wood map from yesterday's Latvia League stage would be as a cup of a day. Then we would have some fun rounds. That was a good map though. Actually, fun fact, the fact that I checked my time on that map was only 0.7 from road records, considering those guys actually trained the map and stuff, and I quick learned it throughout the match. Dude, I'm not minding my time that I got on that map. It's just that bug slide part was so annoying to get properly. Miles doesn't have... Oh. Archie Looker was like that. You get quite good times on it. What times did you get? Because I did a 41-3 in a match. I could do 41s on it. Only during the final the map clicked for me. I also found it funny how everyone was saying to do like 46, 45 or pussy or something like that on that one map, and then by accident I myself did the 45. I don't know, something clicked on that that lower end grand final in the end for me. I kind of went back through the VOD and I checked that I actually did was really efficient with the way how I played. Casually world recording on a map people had times on in mid-match. I'm actually curious which will be the 5 maps that will be selected for the Latvian Trackmania Cup, because at least one from the as minimum from the current that we have will be appearing in the list. And also, who's gonna make the main events? Would be kind of crazy if someone who has not played the Latvian League at all makes it to the Latvian Trackmania Cup. But we'll have to see if that's actually gonna be the case or not. I do think maybe even with the point system, the way how it is, that I think if you win one stage, it kinda already you're kinda safe for making the. Oh, Aikpov had a really good start. You're kinda safe for making the final events. $42.8, yeah, that's it. I mean, on that map, if you just save a bit, then oh, that was a great round. But yeah, on the wood map, if you save a bit, you lose like 0.4. So 42.8 compared to like 41.3 sounds like a big gap on paper, when reality it isn't. It's just like saving 1 or 2 sections and you have like that big of a snowball. Okay, Manta versus Aikpov. Aikpov had really good starts, but Manta's lines are pretty interesting as well. And that's GG. Wait, both of them messed up. The classic COTM final, like both of the players mess up. But Manta does take it in the end. Manta does take it. The classic COTM final where both players completely mess up. That's a classic. That's a classic. Alright, let's check out the world records on the Latvia League maps. Yeah, so I did 0.3 here. Like, I'm not a single top 1 Latvia on any of the maps. Like, on the maps that I'm really close, I'm like really close. So yeah, one of these maps might appear already in the main event. So, we'll see for it. Div 2 final was Cinema. For LTL. Yeah, sadly did not see it. But did Koralin stream it? Maybe from his POV it's possible to snatch something from it. I wanted to check. What did I wanted to check? Oh yeah, right. I wanted to see this. Because I think we have an interesting update regarding the Latvia League. And we do. Okay. Okay. We have huge updates from Latvia League. Huge updates. Big update. We have a prize pool increase. So instead of... Let me open the rulebook. So if you open the rulebook now... I really hope you can see it. I will update the format here still as well, because for the Div 2. So right now, we have the updates, is the total prize pool is 70 euro. We have 70 euro as prize pool now. Huge. But, what I will probably do is that we will, I'll probably do it like this. We have, so if you reach the final, we're gonna be able to get a bit of a nice bonus like this. Also, there's gonna be the thing where we have I have changed the formats, so we discussed it. This is gonna be an interesting format, even if you're not from Latvia. This is something that I wanted to really test out and see what people will think, and maybe I could use it for some other events as well. So what we're planning to do is that after we have our own league stages played out, the top 7 or top 6 from the main division, if the winner of stage 6 is going to be one of these players who are also in the top 6 or luckier, then or the person who's going to be number 7, then they're going to be the 7 players locked in for the main event. And then there's going to be a last chance wall. And the format here is not going to be basic cup mode, but it's going to be best of maps. So it's going to be a cup long game mode. So there's going to be a mini cup mode match per map, and you have to win a map to secure a point. And you have to win 2 maps to advance. And then we'll kind of have second, thirds, and the grand final here is going to be best of 3 and best of 3 here. It's going to be pretty interesting formats, and we'll have to see how that will look like in practice. Because I did some tests, it's possible to actually run it through competition tool. It's actually an officially supported game mode that has not been used in Trackmania. So it's gonna be really interesting to use Nadio and their hidden game modes, classic. Because I found this hidden way how we can access that game mode, and we got the servers running up for it, and so it'll be fun to try it out. Alright, so I think that's gonna be it for me today. And there's nothing else interesting to do, sadly. Ranked is dead. Not in the mood of hunting maps as well. There's nothing much, sadly, to discuss as well. So let's see who's streaming, and we can pass on to raid. I believe Bira might be doing a broadcast right now, so we'll probably just... Yep, we'll raid a Bira. The Classico. I think I was the person who has raided Bira the most, because mainly when I end, he's the only one who's streaming around this time. Oh, he's playing something else. Automation, the car company tycoon game. I can completely relate to this. There's nothing else to do in TM so far. Alright, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you everyone who joined in for the stream. Really, really appreciate it. Hope you have a really nice rest of the Sunday. And most likely see you all later. Bye-bye.